Hello, and welcome to another episode of Practical Money Magic with me, your host, Audrey Heesch, your friendly money lady. Today, I want to talk about just coming to the table and what that means and what that looks like for you and your business. So, yesterday, I had a beautiful client meeting, and we really got into their bookkeeping and how to enter things, how to enter them correctly, how to get everything caught up. She elected to be more hands-on and really learn the nuts and bolts to be able to tackle it moving forward for herself and empower her and her business. That's not everyone's choice, and that's totally okay. Some people are like, this will never be my thing. I will happily pay people. And others are like, I can do this. Let me get in there. And both are absolutely okay. And I fully support all and every option. As long as you're working within the confines of the law, I am happy. I want you to be able to be empowered in the best way for you. And so when the number one thing I see over and over and over again that really sets people up for success, no matter where they've come from, where they're at in their business, how the levels of what needs done. What I've seen, the number one factor that sets people up for success the most is coming to the table. And that can be very hard. And I don't want to diminish that, because your finances and your foundation are not taught to the financial literacy that sets you up for success in our world. And when you don't have a foundation for yourself and you're trying to build a foundation for your business, it can be challenging. And you might not want to, because you're like, it was fine. I don't want the government to tell me I have to do these things, so I'm not going to do them. That tends to be people's sort of line of thought, and along with so many others, but it feels very constricting. But it's a part of being a business owner, is having these systems and these structures taken care of to be able to empower you with you and your expansion and what you're dreaming of and how to get there. So the number one, I think I went off already. The number one thing I want to say is coming to the table is the most important part. Because when you come to the table, it's okay if you walk away for a minute. You're like, this pisses me off. I'm not understanding. I need to walk away. I need a minute. That's absolutely okay and encouraged. Don't sit in the frustration just to be frustrated. Sometimes you do need to step away. And that's okay. It's just a matter of coming back to the table. Like, okay, I need 5 minutes to go handle this frustration, like whatever you do. I need a walk. I need to have a snack. Anything and everything in between. Whatever helps you calm down and get back to your baseline to come back to the table, do it. Don't feel like you have to sit there just because the professional is in front of you. It's okay to walk away. And not all professionals are going to appreciate that. So I don't want to set you up for failure if you do that and they get mad at you, because I want you to be fully aware that not everyone is willing to work with you in that. Some people, they're like, this is my bar and you better be here. Otherwise, I'm not going to take you on or entertain you. And that is their right. And if you're that person, you are fully empowered to embody that, if that's where you're at and what you want to present. And I think that's empowering in its own self. I just happen to be more of the one that, like, I will figure out where you're at and let's figure out how to get you where you want to go. And other people are just like, this is my bar, meet it. And that's perfectly fine. It's just about figuring out which one you are and then navigate that next step. So again, if you need a minute to step away because this is like the situation in front of you is just too much in your learning process as you're figuring out your foundation and your systems and your structures and what it all means and how it all comes together. If you've been sitting for more than like, let's say an hour, like there's like an hour meeting, generally you don't want to just get up within that hour if you're like on a roll and there's a training. But anything beyond that, it is okay to ask to step away for a minute. It is okay to be like, hey, even if you just say, I need to go to the bathroom, and take that time for yourself. Everyone understands bathroom breaks need to happen. So if you're like, hey, I need to use the restroom, and just take that time. You don't even have to necessarily need to go to the bathroom, but just it's okay for you to take time for yourself. You do not always have to rise to other people if you're not, if you know just sitting there isn't going to bring that. I hope that lands because that is so important. Yes, come to the table. Absolutely, 100%. It's what I've seen lead to success time and time again. Because when you do that, you are empowering yourself. And that is the whole point is, okay, here's a new thing I don't know anything about. What am I going to do? Even if it's just sitting in the room with other people because you have no idea what you're doing. That's what I do. I start by sitting in that room. Marketing. That not my thing at all. So I sit in those rooms to figure out, hear what people are saying, formulate my even thoughts about trying to figure out what my next step is. I get it. It's different because marketing is more creative and not regulated. My side just happened, like the accounting, the finance, the structures, and the system happens to be the foundation. So I'm thankful in that. But the marketing side is crazy to me, like madness. It's not fun for me at all. So I get not wanting to show up to that table. 100%. I would rather play in my bookkeeping and play with my receipts and have buckets full of unorganized documents to organize. Hands down, I'll do that any day. Ask me to post on social media. That's something I fully enjoy. I enjoy the engagement with my incredible audiences wherever you're at. Thank you so much for being here because I do genuinely get a lot from helping you and showing you what the possibility can be because I believe in you. And sometimes you just need that belief to come to that table to figure out what your next steps are. And it's a wild world out there and there's a lot of steps, and I don't want to diminish that because it can be overwhelming and can get overwhelming fast. And as time goes, your finances are ever changing. Every single day there's money coming in and out, generally speaking, unless you're very starting out very soon. But expenses are going to come and go, and it's just taking the time to tackle it where you're at right now, because the more time that goes on, the less you're going to be able, like, the more you're going to have to do or pay somebody to do. So come to the table as soon as you can. Come in these rooms, be a part of the conversation, even if it's just sitting there and listening. That is, I don't want to diminish that at all. I am absolutely that person when I don't actually have a question because I have no idea what's going on. I can't formulate a question when people push me to ask questions that I literally have no idea what I'm doing. And without any like guidance, but like you can ask me a question to where I can start formulating a question or tell you a thing. But if I don't know what's going on, I can't formulate a question. That's not how my brain works. So I hope what you got from this, or my intention of this episode, is to one, come to the table. That will set you up for success in a way that you can't underscore, because you're also infusing faith in yourself. And you're your biggest advocate. You are here for your dream and your vision and your genius. So empower yourself with that step and give yourself that faith that you're going to show up for this piece of your business that isn't your genius. And that's okay. and then figure out your systems that work with you to still accomplish the task and follow the law, but empower you, because your finances are so pivotal. And the more you understand them, the more you're able to really get that path to success. Because your finances are your foundation. You might have hit a peak of success, but if it wasn't sustainable, it might be because your foundation isn't solid. You don't have your systems and structures set up to set you up for success. I will say that. And then the other thing is have grace with yourself. Wherever you're at, embrace that and appreciate yourself for how far you have come. Entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart, and it's just about figuring out your next step to the best of your ability, because that's all we can do. Like, at the end of the day, it's just about the best you can do. And so why not put your best foot forward? Just say, if like this is your business, this is your dream, if you put your best foot forward and show the world what you got, that's powerful. And I know that's scary, and I 100% get it. It is very scary to show up and be your full self and possibly risk failure. I'll raise my hand. That's scary. And it's a lot of work. And it's a lot of work we don't talk about enough, I think. There's so many aspects to business ownership that's just like, oh yeah, you're supposed to do that. And we're like, what? where did that come from? Okay. And none of it makes sense. Not always. Some of it does, some of it does not. And that's struggle. That's a struggle. But that's why you come in the rooms, figure out what you do need and how you can show up for yourself and your business. If something goes awry, hold grace for yourself and figure out what your best next step is, and know that you did your best for as long as you could. And now you know something new. Now you can do something different. And that is so powerful. So, as always, plant that seed of success. Oh, plant that seed of success and watch yourself bloom, baby.